Hey, you. I hope you aren't busy. Because guess what? I got something great for you. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the dark corner of the room. I got my blanket. I hope you do too. So welcome back, guys. Welcome back. We did part 1 of the Urban Legends. Well, was it Urban? Yeah, Urban Legends. I almost forgot there. Urban Legends Scary Animation Series. And now I'm coming back around with the part 2 that I'm going to bring to you. So, sit back, relax, grab your blankets, because you know how we do. And grab some snacks, some water, whatever you like. Make sure your volume is up, 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 up. Okay? And the ones who want to watch this, come with me. And the ones who don't, we will see you later. It's all good. It's all good. So, come with me, guys. We're going to check this out. I hope it's scary. I hope. Let's go see. Come on. Let's go. Abandoned grave.
As a child, I lived in the countryside for a while and heard many ghost stories. I myself had seen ghosts a few times. However, I couldn't say I had seen ghosts with anyone because it was still very mysterious to me. In my days of going to elementary school, I once saw a ghost while crossing a small bridge. That day, my friend and I were joking around, so we decided to go under the bridge. Here, I experienced a rather strange phenomenon. There were 3 4th grade girls there. One knelt on the ground and repeatedly
She's slapping herself.
her cheek, and
Stop
the other
slapping
two
yourself.
stood
Stop
aside
slapping
with a
yourself.
somewhat
Stop slapping
worried look on their
yourself.
faces. I quickly went over to ask what they were performing. I also realized that the girl kneeling was Hen, living in the same neighborhood as myself. When I saw it clearly, I realized that these girls weren't joking.
Goodness.
Hen's cheeks were slapped until puffy, and her face black. I found it strange that anyone would beat themselves so cruelly. The other 2 girlfriends were dumbfounded, did not act, and did not intervene, which made me curious. It turned out they couldn't stop. It was like people who were glued to the ground. Seeing that, I walked over and pulled Hen up. But it seemed that the girl was very strong, even stronger than an adult. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't pull her up. I often heard stories about being possessed by demons, so I knew this girl was not fine. I quickly ran to the girl's house to ask for help. I told her parents about what happened. Likewise, after her parents arrived, they couldn't stop Hen from slapping herself. So the mother asked the rest of them
face is
what
all messed up.
The girls both cried and sniffled. In that late afternoon, when the children were walking together, Hen wanted to take a break. She went to a lawn by the embankment for convenience. The other 2 girls did not feel anything, and after waiting for a while, Hen went out. But ever since
she
Hen
looked
returned
creepy
from the lawn, she kept her head down without saying a word. After walking a few steps, the girl suddenly fell to the ground with a strong thud.
Like, no, not this again. That's what I would. If I was that girl, I would have been like, oh, here she go.
Didn't understand.
Here she go with this bullshit.
Like the matter was clarified after Hen's mother returned to the village and found a woman with experience in exorcism in the countryside. She was a person who could exterminate demons. Although she was not a witch, she could also drive away demons. When Hen arrived, the older woman was still holding a bowl. She walked up to Hen and suddenly threw water in her face. When the water spilled, I knew what kind of water was in the bowl. After that, Hen fell to the ground. Her parents took her home to rest for a week before going back to school. The older woman also warned us that under the bridge, there were a lot of unjust souls. If we ever got near that area, we should not speak any dirty words or act rudely, lest we be the same again. Someone said that in the past, on that spot,
Dirty words.
there was an untimely death. The man was a builder, but he was always drunk while working. That day he did not come back from work, but at night he slept on the pile of materials. The two other workers immediately came to shake him up and discovered that he was already dead. The reason for the death was being drunk. It sounded absurd, but it was true.
To death?
He still held an empty bottle of wine in his hand and had no wounds on his body. The people in the village thought that the man died because of the wind. Seeing that this victim came from another place to live there temporarily without relatives, he was buried in the embankment field. There was no one to worship and clean the area, so soon this tomb was overgrown with grass. The place where Hen went to the bathroom was the same place where the tomb was placed.
Where she went to the bathroom.
There was another story also related to that tomb.
Like, is he desecrated or something?
That day,
by doing that?
When I was doing my homework, my aunt ran over to ask if my father had seen her husband going anywhere. My father saw that my aunt was worried, and he ran out to find her husband, and I also followed curiously. We asked around the village if anyone had seen my uncle, but to no avail. Then we ran to the little shop, and they said that my uncle had bought a lot of alcohol and left the village. The strange thing was that my uncle was not a drinker at all. My father and aunt found the path leading to the tunnel from the owner's instructions. Normally when coming home from work, my uncle would never go this way, so no one thought that he would be there. And then we were all surprised to find him in that place. He was lying on the edge of the rock, seemingly drunk and unconscious. Next to him were a few bottles and dishes. My uncle was taken to the hospital for treatment. Fortunately, he was saved in time, so everyone was okay. But when people asked my uncle why he went to that place to drink, he did not know anything. But everyone understood that this story was related to the man who died while building the bridge. Up to now, that place had been reclaimed and repaired, and the tomb had been moved, so everything was peaceful. But these stories I still remembered vividly and used to scare the naughty or destructive children in the family and the neighborhood.
That one wasn't that scary. Let's find another one. Ooh, this one looks good. A haunted hospital room. Hospitals are freaky, so let's check this one out.
This is a story about some strange things happening at the hospital. Each of us knows that in hospitals there were many stories of birth, old age, sickness, and death. My story is that of a department. The department was the ICU area.
How many of you guys think hospitals are creepy? I definitely think they're creepy. I can't help but to think about, like, underneath
there have been through
there's
the gates of hell
dead people. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't know. I'd be so scared. I'd be thinking about that.
So I also heard a few special stories. The story my friend told me was that there was an old man surnamed Chen who had just had a tumor removed by a doctor. And the old man was pushed into the ICU. The surgery went well and the old man woke up quickly. But when he woke up, the old man's voice suddenly became strange. He didn't even recognize his children when they were standing beside him. Moreover, he said that he was a different person now. And stranger than that was that he even gave another person's home address and the family background. All of this
I think I heard something about this, like in real life too.
About him without knowing if this
like
was
people would go under and then they would like receive somebody's like heart or something or body part, and next thing you know, like they be having like they take on their attributes or stuff or memories or whatever.
The doctor was also surprised to hear all this information. He thought
Oh,
that
these
maybe
are
the
true
old man
urban
was having
legends,
problems
so
after surgery.
there.
When the doctor tried to explain to Mr. Shen's children what had happened, they couldn't believe it or
Okay, let me stop
understand
talking
anything.
so we can watch.
They could only listen to the doctor's observations and monitoring during the treatment. The old man had another very strange thing that night, that he did not sleep, but talked into the air as if no one was listening. There were voices and laughed as if there were real people in front of him. Symptoms lasted for several days like this. One night, when the old man, surnamed Lou, was lying on the bed next to him, he heard a noise. When Mr. Lou was lying on the bed, he looked back and saw people gathering by the old man's bed.
I'm freaking out a little bit.
They had their faces cleared out. Their appearance might have been fake, or they were ghosts.
Yes, we are.
Suddenly there was a lot of noise both inside and outside the bed he was lying on. He was so scared that he did not dare to make a sound and could only lie still.
I know that's right. When I be getting scared, I get froze. I just be...
It was almost
I don't even want to breathe.
Took away a person who had lived in Mr. Shen's bed a few days ago, but had died right before he took the bed over. The next day, 2 children came to see and visit Mr. Shen. Then Mr. Liu suddenly realized that Shen was still lying on the bed, but also talking normally. As nothing strange had happened, he said something. He said that maybe a few days ago Mr. Shen's bed had a dead person lying there, so he gained their memories. Yesterday, they came to take him away. He also had no recollection of what he heard the patient in the next bed moaning like he couldn't breathe. He turned his head and glanced vaguely, seeing something like a black figure squatting.
That's
on
actually
Mr.
really
Lee's
real.
and then gradually overwhelming his body, making it extremely difficult for him to breathe.
God.
Mr. Shen desperately wanted to call for help but could not make a sound or move. He couldn't move until the physical signs alarm went off and the nurse came to check on him. The patient in the next bed passed away that night. He told the nurse what he saw, but the nurse didn't believe him at all, so the old man told his children. The kids were so scared that they went to the doctor again and asked what was going on. The doctor said that this phenomenon was quite unique and was caused by different reasons that would affect the patient's recovery. After being in the ICU for a few days, he was transferred to the general ward. There was no such thing as a weird going, as to whether being in the ICU was really a commonplace. And in this world, there are supernatural things that happen, so we don't dare to lie.
Wow. Alright. The peculiar man with the what?
Every time I catch sight of the rain, my mood inevitably plummets. Rain has never been my favorite. The reason is quite simple. I harbor numerous sorrowful memories associated with rain. It was under the rain that my partner ended our relationship. I encountered an accident,
You guys scared yet?
countless unfortunate incidents crossed my path. Speaking of which, there was a particular incident during my elementary school years that also took place in the rain. After school, my classmates and I took turns in performing janitorial duties. That day it was my friends and my turn. While engaging in playful banter, we ended up losing track of time, failing to complete our tasks before the end of the school day. It was only when thunder rumbled and the sky grew ominously dark that we noticed the impending rain. My friend alerted me to the approaching downpour, urging me to hurry home.
Have your blankets.
Since I hadn't anticipated rain when I left for school that morning, I didn't have an umbrella. If I failed to make it back home in time, I would undoubtedly be drenched. Disregarding the rain, my friend and I decided to walk home. We managed to cover some distance, fortunately before the rain started pouring down. Eventually, we reached a point where we had to part ways, as we lived in different villages. Crossing the rugged path through the forest, I realized that raindrops were already descending. Hastily, I raised my hand to shield my head and quickened my pace, aiming to reach home as swiftly as possible. Understandably, in situations like mine, most people would opt to run in order to evade a thorough soaking. Although the road leading to my house was unpaved, it was relatively even and lacked loose stones, making it easier to traverse. Despite this, I stumbled unexpectedly.
Oh.
Quietly musing, I concluded that
I
the
kinda like them little shoes.
path was the culprit behind my loss of balance. Consequently, I found myself sprawled face first into a puddle, drenching my entire body. The impact of the fall resulted in a sharp ache radiating from my
Sorry,
foot,
y'all. I like to give little
indicating
sound
a
effects
possible
sometimes.
sprained ankle. Running was now out of the question, and even walking became a struggle. Each step was painstakingly slow as I gingerly made my way forward. Limping along, I eventually reached the outskirts of the village, near the aging banyan tree. Rain soaked every inch of my being, and my throbbing foot intensified my discomfort. Seeking respite, I decided to take a brief rest beneath the tree. Its branches provided some shelter from the torrential downpour. I sat there, allowing myself a moment of reprieve, while the throbbing pain in my foot persisted. As time passed, the rain grew more relentless, leaving me increasingly uncertain about how I would manage to make it home. Walking, the only option left, entailed a distance of over 300 meters. Gazing into the distance, I suddenly noticed a figure approaching
some go
from
pop
afar.
out.
This person was carrying an umbrella and strolling with an air of tranquility, unaffected by the urgency I felt to seek shelter.
Walking, he look like he's like
Notably,
floating.
the umbrella in possession
Gliding
was made of
even.
foil paper, a type rarely seen
I
in
love
my
those
area,
umbrellas.
but frequently featured on television. The individual appeared youthful, yet his attire exuded an old-fashioned charm. A sense of familiarity washed over me, though his identity eluded my memory. To my surprise, he seemed to recognize me and approached with an amicable demeanor. After I mentioned the pain in my foot, he promptly offered to carry me home. Grateful for his kindness, I couldn't bring myself to decline the gesture.
You don't even
As
know
we walked
him.
together, an unbidden question emerged from within me. Who was this person, and why did he seem so familiar? I couldn't recall his identity despite a lingering sense of recognition. Sensing my curiosity, he mentioned that he had once carried me on his back when I was younger.
Reincarnation, maybe? Deja
But
vu,
I genuinely
even?
couldn't recall who he was.
Who knows?
Eventually, he indeed carried me all the way home. When I turned around to express
He was
my
gone.
gratitude once more,
I knew
I
it.
realized that he had vanished, though I couldn't determine when exactly he had left. Upon reaching home, I examined my foot and noticed an unusual bruise around my ankle. It appears as though someone had forcefully grabbed my foot, causing me to fall.
What?
The following morning, I woke up and proceeded to school as usual. As I stepped onto the street, I unexpectedly encountered my young neighbor. The moment I laid eyes on his face, I immediately remembered the identity of the person who had carried me. It was his father. However, his father had passed away several years ago. I was astonished, and I recounted to the boy how his father had carried me home the previous night. At first, the boy dismissed my account as nonsense, finding it difficult to believe. But then, he revealed that it was his father's birthday yesterday.
Whoa.
And perhaps, just maybe, he had truly returned.
Wow. No way. Wow. we're gonna leave it right there, and we're gonna end up doing another one, but we're gonna leave it right there for right now. So these they were alright. Towards the end it got a little good, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, because I like finding little things like this for you. We're gonna have another I don't know if I'm definitely gonna do another animation series, because we're gonna do number 3, and I'm definitely gonna try to really dig deep. And then after that, we're gonna find some more scary stuff, and we're gonna segue. It's gonna be good, okay? It's gonna be good. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. But anyways, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you, as always. I am so grateful to have you guys. It's fun. I love making videos and content for you guys. It really does make me happy. So I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. And yeah, subscribe and like and comment down below and tell me what you think. And if you have some videos that you would like to share with me, that would be awesome as well. So, until next time, loves, I'm out here, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.